March 8, 2014. Kuala Lumpur International Airport is buzzing with the usual midnight energy. Flight MH370 is prepared for a routine 6-hour journey to Beijing. The aircraft is a Boeing 777-200ER, a masterpiece of modern engineering known for its incredible safety record. On board are 227 passengers from 14 different nations and 12 dedicated crew members. At 12:41 a.m., the heavy jet lifts off into the tropical night. For the first 40 minutes, the flight is textbook perfect. The pilots communicate with air traffic control with complete professionalism. There is no sign of stress, no technical alarms, and no hint of the tragedy about to unfold. At 1:19 a.m., as the plane reaches the edge of Malaysian airspace over the South China Sea, the captain, Zahari Ahmad Shah, utters the final words, "Good night, Malaysian 370." It was a standard sign-off, but what happened next was anything but standard. At 1:21 a.m., just 2 minutes after that final radio call, the plane's transponder was manually switched off. In an instant, MH370 vanished from civilian radar screens. It didn't drift off course, it didn't signal for help. It simply went invisible. While civilian controllers in Vietnam and Malaysia were scrambling to contact the aircraft, military radar was picking up something chilling. The plane had not crashed. Instead, it had performed a sharp, aggressive U-turn. This wasn't a slow drift caused by a mechanical failure. This was a high-speed, tactical maneuver. The aircraft flew back across the Malaysian peninsula, right over the city of Penang. Investigators later discovered that the plane was being flown with extreme precision, weaving through the borders of different countries' radar coverage to stay undetected as long as possible. It was a dark flight, navigated by someone who knew exactly where the blind spots were. By 2:22 a.m., the military lost the final radar blip as the plane headed out into the Andaman Sea. For the rest of the world, the plane was gone. But for the 239 people on board, a terrifying 7-hour journey was just beginning. This is where the mystery turns into a nightmare. Most people assume a missing plane crashes immediately, but MH370 didn't. Thanks to a British satellite company called Inmarsat, we know that even though the transponder was off, a small terminal on the plane continued to send automated pings to a satellite once every hour. These pings revealed that after turning south, the plane flew for 7 more hours. It was cruising at 35,000 feet over the empty, pitch-black waters of the southern Indian Ocean. Think about the silence in that cabin. By this time, it is widely believed that the cabin had been depressurized. This would have sucked the oxygen out of the plane. The passengers would have had only seconds to reach for their masks, but those masks only provide 15 minutes of air. After that, they would have slipped into a deep sleep, followed by death. The 239 souls on board were likely dead long before the plane actually hit the water. It was a massive, flying tomb, traveling on autopilot until the very last drop of fuel was gone. When a plane vanishes like this, the first place investigators look is the cockpit. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah was a legend at Malaysia Airlines, a veteran with over 18,000 hours of flight time. But behind the professional image, there were dark clues. When the FBI and Malaysian police searched his home, they found a high-end flight simulator. Hidden in the deleted files of that simulator was a flight path that chilled the investigators to the bone. It was a route that started in Kuala Lumpur, made a U-turn over the Malacca Strait, and ended in a remote part of the southern Indian Ocean, the exact area where the satellite pings placed the plane. Was this a calculated mass murder-suicide? Did the captain wait for his younger co-pilot to leave the cockpit for a break, lock the reinforced door, and take control of the aircraft's fate? There were no political manifestos, no goodbye letters, and no history of mental illness. Yet the precision of the flight path points to a human hand, not a computer error. The search for MH370 became the most expensive and technologically advanced operation in human history. Ships from Australia, China, and the US scanned 120,000 square kilometers of the most treacherous ocean floor on Earth. They used deep-sea drones and sonar that could map every rock and crevice 20,000 feet below the surface. They found nothing. No fuselage, no engines, and most importantly, no black boxes. Without the cockpit voice recorder and the flight data recorder, we are left with only theories. The ocean floor in that region is a landscape of underwater mountains and deep canyons. If the plane hit the water at high speed, it would have shattered into millions of pieces, making it almost impossible to find in the deep silt of the seafloor. For more than a year, there was zero physical evidence. Then, in July 2015, a piece of a wing called a flaperon washed up on Reunion Island, thousands of miles away from the search zone. It was covered in barnacles, but the serial number confirmed it. It belonged to MH370.
We have the Malaysia Airlines logo. This is MH370.
Since then, over 30 pieces of debris have been found on the coasts of Africa and Madagascar. Experts analyzed the way the wing was damaged. Some say the flaps were in a retracted position, suggesting the plane was not under human control during its final moments and simply spiraled into the ocean when the engines flamed out. Others argue the damage shows a controlled ditching, meaning someone was flying it until the very end. Each piece of debris is a puzzle piece, but we still don't have the full picture. In the absence of facts, conspiracy theories have filled the void. Some suggest the plane was hijacked remotely by a foreign government. Others believe it was shot down by a military exercise gone wrong and covered up. There are even theories that the plane landed at a secret base in Diego Garcia. But when we strip away the fantasies, the satellite data remains the most reliable evidence. It shows a plane flying until it could fly no more. The real tragedy is not just the mystery, but the 239 families who've spent over a decade in a state of ambiguous loss. They have no bodies to bury, no wreckage to see, and no closure. MH370 changed the world. Before 2014, it was possible for a massive jet to disappear from the grid. Today, new laws require every commercial aircraft to broadcast its position every few minutes, no matter where it is on Earth. We have better satellite tracking and more secure cockpit protocols. But for Flight 370, these changes came too late. It remains the ultimate ghost story of the modern age. A Boeing 777 is not a small object. It is a 200-foot-long machine weighing over 200 tons. That it could simply vanish in an age of total surveillance is a humbling reminder of how vast and mysterious our planet still is. The southern Indian Ocean is a place of shadows and secrets. Somewhere miles below the crashing waves, the remains of MH370 are resting in the dark. One day, technology may finally reach them. One day, the black boxes might tell their story. But until then, the mystery of Malaysian 370 will continue to haunt the skies. Thank you for joining us on this deep investigation at Ghost Airways. This case is a reminder that even in our connected world, the unknown is always just a flight away. What is your theory? Was it the pilot, a mechanical failure, or a secret we aren't allowed to know? Let's discuss in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's greatest aviation mysteries. Stay safe and keep looking at the sky.